Hey Joe, where are you?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It's a big powder day, so coming to you from the bottom of the lift line.
That's awesome.
What's up, guys? How's it going? How's everybody doing? Joe, are you at the bottom of the lift line, did you just say?
Yep,
Oh, man. Super jealous.
we got a big powder day here in Jackson.
Ooh, sounds good. We're all jealous. No doubt. Any other skiers or snowboarders in the group? Snowboarder here. I got Liana. What do you do, Dante? Ski or snowboard?
Snowboard.
Awesome. Liana, what's up, sister? Good to see you.
How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good to
So
see
I'm actually, I got a guy downstairs right now at my house replacing one of my boiler manifolds. I have that big old in-floor heat system and one of them started to drip. So I got James Radiant downstairs replacing one of my manifolds. So if you see me bolt, that means that there's probably a flood downstairs. And you can just carry on without me. But thanks for showing up, everybody, today. How's everybody doing? Anybody? Let's just jump right into it. For those of you who haven't met me, I'm Julie Clark with Seattle Investors Club. Thanks for joining us. And my masked partner, Joe Bauer here, that is living the good life on the road in his van. If you guys are outdoor enthusiasts, some of you may or may not be, or health nuts and fitness people, you want to know Joe Bauer here, my partner, because he is all those things, and you can find out what he's up to on all his social channels, such as the Get Better Project, and even also fun is the Fantastic Life. I'm actually surprised, Joe, you haven't been picked up for some sort of like reality show or something like that. Has anybody ever asked you?
Not yet, but we push more. We're doing a lot more action sports stuff.
You're cutting out on us a little, so can't hear you very well. But you guys go check out the Fantastic Life on social channels and the Get Better Project, which is the fitness side of Joe's business as well. So what's up, everybody? I know I need some help today. Who else? I don't know. I don't need to go first. I'll go last. Does anybody have anything they need help with today? Anything they're working on? Any questions? Doesn't matter what it is.
I have a question. Biden signed that executive order to, I guess, extend the eviction moratorium. How have you guys been dealing with that? Is that just, I guess, do you just have to wait it out, or anyone?
Anybody have any advice on that? I mean, it all seems, that's a relational thing as far as I don't know, each state has its own rules as well, right? On top of that, is that right? I wouldn't say I'm the expert answer. I try to ping some of our property managers on here today, but there's state rules and then there's federal rules, right? And
I think that's right.
Probably none of the states have caught up yet to the federal rules, which is it official? Did he actually sign it into, and how long did it extend to?
I heard it was until March.
I heard, if Deborah Starr's jumping on here, I thought I heard there was some talk of it even being longer. Does anybody know the exact details of this that's on here today? If not, we'll get one of our, I'm gonna make a note here. We'll have somebody in SIC give us the info and we'll tag you, Ian. Because I don't know the answer myself. Eviction extension. Anybody else? We don't have the answer for you right now, Ian, but we'll find out. We'll tag you with the answer in the Facebook
sounds
page.
Good.
What about anybody else? Anybody got any deals they want to talk about? Got any deals under contract? Got any deals they need help with? Lisa, you needed something. Lisa's looking for some
Hi.
funds on a good deal that she's got up north. What is it you're looking for?
Yeah, so I took your advice and talked to Flynn Family Lending. So I'm talking to them about getting some help to finish up a renovation, and still considering your idea of just putting it on the market as it is right now. I know there's no inventory, so I know I could sell it, but it still needs work.
Yeah, so what she's talking about is she's got a property, where was it, Snohomish or something?
Yes.
And she's a real estate agent and she flips homes. And tell us the story and what I told you to do, just so everybody can hear.
Yep, so I bought it in March of 2020 at the auction, on like March 7th. And then about a week later, the moratorium happened and there was a squatter in the house. So we couldn't get him out until October. So when we finally took possession, have been cleaning up the property. It needs a new septic system. I mean, it was pretty much trashed. So I just reached out for some advice. Julie said, just list it and see, you know, what the market brings. So, you know, I've held it for a long time, so I have a lot of holding costs. I have put a lot of money into just cleaning up what's there. So I really just have the house left to renovate. So I'm just deciding.
So I had another
It's
one.
okay.
I call it a prehab, guys. I actually, you know, the market is so strong right now. I always challenge people that do flips in markets like this to just close on it, clean it up, and throw it on. You'd be surprised at how crazy things are escalating, even without you doing the rehab. I think Justin Stiles just did one up in Everett. He had the same situation, and I said, just throw it on and see what happens. If you don't get the price that you want, you know, that your net proceeds, that's, you know, obviously if it's taking you less time, in your case, you've had to hold it a little bit longer, you could always just take it back off the market and continue on with your renovation. And he blew it out of the water. I personally also have benefited greatly from that, what I call the prehab model, where we just buy it, clean it up. I mean, we don't even clean it, just like make it vacant, clean up the yard, and make it, do whatever you need to do to make it financeable, maybe, as long as, or in some cases, if it's a property, you don't even need to do that because somebody will come along and pay cash for it, right? And you'd be surprised, you know, turning your money that quick, you can still get a big fat profit these days due to the craziness seller's market that we're in. So I was kind of challenging Lisa to give it a try, because she didn't get the numbers she wanted, you can just continue on with her renovation. It's not going to sting your listing, because clearly it's one product versus another, right? By the time you've done it, renovation. Has anybody done a prehab as such, closed on something and then just threw it on the market without doing the renovation? Most of you contractors out there can't stop yourselves from continuing on, but has anybody tried that before besides me? No? Okay. Give it a
Does she
shot.
still have the squatter inside the house, or did she get him out?
No, we did a sheriff's eviction in October.
So let's talk about that now that we're on that subject. So you bought it in March, you had a squatter in there, you couldn't get them out till October. What was the process? Why did it take so long?
So the moratorium includes, I mean, just anyone in the house. We had an attorney, and he said, you know, he can't go to court with this because according to the governor's orders, you can't even ask to evict anybody. So then in July, we did the 60-day notice to sell, or, you know, or to live in it. And so it took 60 days after that, which really was more than 60 days to get the sheriffs there to do it. So
So he told you you couldn't ask, but what, couldn't you offer cash for keys? Or something like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we tried that in the beginning, but this guy was
And
got a lot
educate,
of weapons. He was pretty much, you know, not gonna give it up.
was he the previous tenant?
So he's never been on title, and he didn't ever show any proof of a lease. So I don't know how he got there, but he wouldn't leave.
When you bought it from the auction company, did you buy it direct or you went through an auction group?
Yeah, I got it through Vestas. It was a sheriff's sale with 0-month redemption, so.
And so, but you knew there was somebody in there when you bought it?
Yes, we knew somebody was in there. And we've bought before with somebody in there and have had the sheriff's evict before, but obviously this took a lot longer due to what's happening.
Right. And do you feel now that this has been a detriment to you, or have you, you know, some might say maybe you've benefited from some appreciation during this time? Maybe.
Yeah, we actually bought it at a really good price. You know, so yeah, I've put a lot of money into it, but there's still equity there. It's an acre lot. It has a huge shop on it. It is an old farmhouse, but you know, renovated, it will be a really nice property.
Awesome. All right. Good stuff. Oh, septic. I got a septic question. Did you put the septic in, or did you already do that?
It's not in yet, but it is going in. Yeah. So the old one was just trashed. So it just needs a whole new system.
And that was Snohomish County, right?
Yes.
Joanna and I have a question for you guys, which is, we're working on something in Linwood, and the house has septic. It works. They haven't had any problems with the septic. There has been sewer line run down their street and has been stubbed to their property there in Linwood. They're still on septic. Their septic works fine. They know they're getting ready to sell, so they went ahead and got their septic tank pumped and inspected. And when the inspector showed up, he immediately kind of started telling them that, oh, your septic has a problem, before he even looked at it, and said they're going to have to connect to the sewer line. Is anybody aware of the rules and that's not accurate, whether he was trying to just upsell their service or what, but what's up, Andy? Do you guys have any insight on Snohomish County septic? If there's no requirement, is there, to connect to septic if it's stubbed to your property? Does a sale trigger any type of, I can remember, I want to say it was Lake Forest Park or something like that. There was an area of Lake Forest Park or something that if you sold your property, they were forcing you to connect to the sewer that was readily available there. Has anybody heard anything about this for Snohomish County or Linwood? Anybody?
So I think it might trigger a lender question, if anything.
Well,
just in my real estate experience, but you know, I don't know who else would require it.
Lenders lend on septic, so that's not an issue.
Yes.
Right? It's an operating septic system, but the guy who came, this is the thing, Joanna, we can talk about it. You know, they said, oh, he filed a bad report. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not a septic expert, okay? So, but if somebody, let's say you live at your house and you have a septic company, I think it was CUZ Septic that came out there on this instance. And this guy didn't do them justice. He kind of was sort of ramrodding them potentially a little bit, and then tried to tell them, I guess, that, well, now you have this report on your record with the county. So my question is, when a septic company comes out to do an inspection at your house in Snohomish County, do they report that every time? I mean, isn't that reporting to the county as part of a service you hire? I know as a real estate agent, we have the septic company create the paperwork to report it to the county so we can get the transfer done with the OSS or whatever to get it sold. But if it's just a regular old house and you have your septic, somebody comes out, they don't report that to the county, do they? Or do they?
Well, what he did was, because I looked up the public records, he put in the public record that he pumped 900 gallons out of a 750 gallon tank. And the question is, how did he know it was 750? They seem to think it was a 950 tank, but don't have paperwork on it. And the electronic records in Snohomish don't have any paperwork electronically on when the septic was put in, how big it was. So he's saying that he pumped out more than the septic holds. They had another company come
How is
out.
that possible though? Because there's no sogginess out there. You know what I mean?
There's
There
no
was
sogginess. And
problem.
the second they went for a second opinion, and the guy said, there's no way to tell how big the tank is. So I don't know how you.
So what we're dealing with is this mark on their record on Snohomish County, yet, you know, to their knowledge and from their stuff, it works just fine, right? And it was pumped, and then somebody else came out and said, well, to get rid of that bad record, we need to just like put some baffles in or something to kind of do another report to the county and try and clear it that way. So, but I just, does anybody know, like if somebody comes out to your house from a septic company, Snohomish County or whatever, and they find a repair that is needed or something, I guess, you know, I don't know why, do they report it? They always report to the county, or do you think that this guy just reported it because of whatever his perception was of the problem? Does anybody know the answer? Tiffany, are you raising your hand?
Yeah, I am. My sister, her septic was bad and it has a crack. So we don't want it to report it, but the septic people report it anyway. So it's public. So anybody that's the buyer would know.
Yeah.
And then like for people who have cash, when they see that, they really want to buy that too. So it is public record. And I think it is required if it's something wrong with the septic for the buyer to know.
Absolutely, the buyer needs to know, but we're trying to say that, you know, this guy put on the public record, you know, information that wasn't necessarily verified, right? He kind of put a bad mark on them and they're not having any problems with their septic, and sounds like he did it because he thought he's trying to say it's a 750 gallon tank and he pumped 900 gallons out or something like that, which I don't know, you know, I guess is the problem, right? But since we don't have verification, he couldn't verify the size of the tank. We're sort of in this quandary of how to move forward with the sale, right? We need to, you know, do something to clear that septic report, or alternatively, you know, they just sell it as is and somebody can deal with it or connect to the sewer that's there. Is anybody aware, do they, if the sewer line is stubbed to the property already, there is no forcing or requiring them to connect. Does anybody know the answer? Joanna, did you find that out by any chance?
I haven't been able to find that part out, but in his report, he did say recommend hook to sewer.
Well, that's different than required, right?
Right.
Thanks,
Are you-
Lily.
Are you representing the seller or the buyer?
Seller.
Seller.
So when they pumped it, and if they found a fault in it, they should tell the seller, right? And then the seller has the opportunity to fix it. He shouldn't report it before the seller has a chance to fix what's wrong with it. And in Snohomish County, in your purchase and sale, you're not required to get it recorded with the county. You can just get it pumped, and that satisfies the real estate purchase and sale.
Okay. So in Snohomish County, I might need to call you, Lisa, afterwards, talk to you a little bit more. So the problem is now though that we have this bad report, we got to get it off public record or do something about it, right? That's the quandary that we're in, right? I mean, in a market like this today, I don't think they should be spending any money to go connect to the, we're going to research it, if they connected to the sewer line, how much does that increase the value of the house? But to me, that opens a can of worms. I would like to them not to do that, right? And just sort of sell it as is or deal with this. So that's good information though, Lisa. We might call you. Can we call you after this maybe and pick your brain a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. I don't want to hog up the time. What else is going on, guys? Anybody else have any challenges? Brandon, you want to talk?
Yeah, thanks for putting this on. This is great.
Yeah.
I'm a new investor. I've been doing it for a little over a year, just learning. But here in Clallam, like over there, it's tight. There's not much out there trying to find it. And so basically I'm finding land and I got a modular on order and I need to find someone to buy notes. So basically I was just wondering if you have anybody that can, like buy the property, hold the note, and then I got the modular and then you work the deal out. So that's kind of where I'm at, trying to find, I got my attorney, I got my lawyer. I'm getting people together to kind of do this. I see a huge demand and just need to find a way to put it all together.
What's the price of the land?
So you're looking at, in this community, it's 49,000. You got to put a septic in. Modular is 3.2, and then it's total cost. You're looking at around 200. You can sell it for 325. Yeah.
So you're looking for a funding partner? Is that it up there?
Yeah. I mean, I have some investors, put down some cash. I just need more. And then I'm trying to work on affordable housing here and try to convert motels into condos, which is a huge play. I don't know if you guys are doing that in the Seattle area.
Yes.
But that's where I'm heading. So I just need to talk to people about it. And that's why I'm reaching out today, just kind of getting a feel for everybody.
Do you own any other property?
No, there's one listing. There's also a mall that I mean, this is going to be huge opportunities here. And I'm just getting everybody around me that I need, but now it's go time. So it's, I can see it coming.
You should talk to Flynn Family Lending about that. And you should also talk to our friend Mariska about that. I don't know if Troy's on here. Troy, you on here today? I don't think he's on here. But you should.
Flynn Family.
Flynn Family Lending.
I appreciate that.
And then Mariska Pilch. Does anybody have Mariska's contact info? I'll put it in the chat. Mariska.
So Buddy Buck told me about you. So I was like, okay.
I love me some Buddy Buck, man. I gotta tell you what. IL. You guys keep talking. I'm typing Mariska Pilch.
So I've done one flip, but it's interesting that what you're talking about doing, just getting them ready. Are you seeing more foreclosures coming out? For me, it's like I can't even. once something's up, it's gone. And you have to get them on the auction or else, but
Yeah, I'm not paying attention, but I wouldn't imagine there's a lot of foreclosures happening at this time.
they're saying they're gonna come, but they're
Well,
not.
we have a lot of equity in our properties here, so, you know, I
Are
don't
we,
know.
hey, Julie, are we even allowed to do foreclosures right now? Or the county is allowed to do that?
There's still no, they're still not foreclosing to the best of my knowledge right now. And just as a reminder for you investors out there, you're not actually allowed to like pull a list or go out and start directly contacting sellers that are in foreclosure if it's their primary residence. We have a Washington State Distressed Homeowners Act that would be really mad at you if you did that. If it's a rental property and they don't own it as their primary, that's a different situation where it's not covered under that act. I'm not a lawyer, so that's just to the best of my knowledge. Check with your attorney on that. But, you know, I don't foresee, the only reason I say people go into, I see a lot of bankruptcies might happen. And paying attention and getting connected with a bankruptcy attorney such as Richard Symes Law Group, SYMMES Law, Symes Law, is it Law Group or Richard Symes? He is our go-to bankruptcy and foreclosure attorney that you guys should all have on your Rolodex. But be careful with reaching out directly to primary residences that are in foreclosure as an investor. If you're a real estate agent, you can do it and offer multiple solutions. I want to touch back. I see, Lisa, thanks for Wesco. And we'll, John, if you're looking at that info there. Justin, tell us, because we kind of got kicked off. I don't know if you are or not. We started talking about how I convinced you to do a prehab in Everett on that deal instead of flip it. And tell them your experience on how that went down.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was a.
Tell us who you are first, so everybody knows.
I'm Justin Stiles. I own Seattle Home Buyers and a general contractor with design company, House of Styles, Styles with an I. We do a lot of high-end remodels. We're authorized wood custom cabinet dealer and buy a lot of flips and rentals, and also a real estate broker with EXP. So yeah, earlier this year I had a wholesale deal that I bought that had it was a long closing because the guy was selling everything and he was buying a boat to live on it. And the market just started to kind of go up a little bit. And by the time I bought it and submitted for permits, saw a comp that, you know, that was similar condition, and it sold for $65,000 above asking, and it was a fix and flip. And so I said, well, I might as well put it on the market for a week, see if I can get what I want while I'm waiting for permits. And I didn't get exactly what I wanted, but I still, you know, made out like a bandit, and and this is right when they announced that this is in Everett, and right when they announced that they were laying off or that they were not going to be building the airplane in Everett anymore. And so there's a lot of concern from me and my investor that that might affect the market in Everett. And they asked me to pull my money out. So I said, or pull their money out. And I said, all right, well, I'll just sell it for this. And yeah, I bought it for $175,000 and I sold it for $272,000. And I spent $600.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I challenge all of you guys to try that next time you get a flip, right? Does anybody see a downside of just getting something cleaned up just for a second and throwing it on while you're working on your permits and stuff? Does anybody see a downside in that, in attempting that? Just batting the idea around. I'm a major fan of that. Yeah, financing, I guess, for the buyer. The buyer's financing could have an issue if they were FHA or something like that, right? Does anybody agree with me on that? On a seasoning or something like that? Does anybody have any comment? Does anybody ever run into having a problem on a sale after they flipped because they flipped it within 90 days? Does anybody experience that? something you need to be aware of, right? If you're at a lower price point, you know, make sure you're checking in with your favorite lenders and understanding, you know, if there is going to be, let's say, a holding or seasoning period before, and that doesn't mean like before it can close, it means before it can even go under a contract. So that's the, you know, put the flag up and check that one, depending on what price point you're doing this at. So you guys following what I'm saying? All right. What else?
Hey, Julie, I have a question.
Yes.
This is Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany.
Hey, I am under contract for a home up in, also in Clallam County, in Port Angeles. They're just east of Port Angeles. And I am looking for an experienced inspector. We bought it and we waived inspection, but I do want to get one just for our own peace of mind. And also I am looking for a contractor to do some work on the house. Would love to find out if you guys have any referrals to pass along.
Let's see. Anybody here out from Clallam, or I don't know. How about you? Who was just speaking up there? Who had the?
Yeah, that's me. That's me. I could help her out.
You going to drop your contact info in the chat?
Yeah. I got
Thank
plenty.
you.
Good stuff. This is what we do, guys. We share resources, ideas, tips, tricks, and we use collective genius to solve each other's problems. That's the goal here, okay? So no question is too big or small. And guess what? We won't always have the answer, but I'm taking notes here on what we need to get the answer on, such as Ian's first question there on the eviction extension. Anybody else?
Speaking of contacts and resources, just going to put a fishing line out there. I am trying to buy some land on the US 2 in the Cascades to build a cabin and tiny home situation. So looking for anybody who has expertise in building cabins and that sort of in that sort of area, and anyone who has contacts who does work in that area.
I know a tiny home expert that you can.
I'm listening.
That is Todd McKellips.
That's
Seattle
right.
Homes.
I've met him at a previous sick meetup.
Yeah, a long time
Remember
ago.
his name? Yeah, Todd.
I think he's now closed on Seattle Tiny Homes, and he's the owner. He is the kind of go-to guy in the state of Washington in regards to tiny homes and tiny home communities. I'm sure he's working with people in other states too, because he's involved in legislature and all that stuff. And he's probably talking to people potentially in other states as well. As anybody has any interest in that, you can find him. Liana, you can hit me up for his contact info unless Joe has it and can drop it, or check out on social, Seattle Tiny Homes. Great dude. Really great guy.
Cool.
All about
so that's Washington wide. He doesn't like specify in any particular area.
Ask him. I think he you know, is aware of what's going on in the state and probably has all sorts of resources for you there.
Cool. Awesome. Does anybody, any contractors, builders that work out that way, that direction?
You know, who just did a deal out there in Gold Bar is Darren Franz. Darren, are you on here? Can you hear me? Darren. Calling Darren. Darren. There he is.
Darren Franz?
I see him. I see you, Darren. I see your name. Let's see. Darren, can you hear me?
Ghosting.
Darren Franz, he's on here with us. I don't know what he's doing. But he just did a flip in Gold Bar. And then also, Liana, you're in VIP, right? Alicia Ballard in VIP lives in Sultan.
Oh, she's in Monroe, isn't she?
Sultan. She lives in Sultan.
Oh, Sultan, that's right.
Yeah, so hit up
True.
Alicia Ballard in so VIP is my private broker coaching community. Liana's part of that. Justin's part of that. Some of you guys on here are. And that is like doing this 24/7 with me and if it's for brokers. So that's what this kind of looks like, but supersized, as Michael, what's his name, would say. So reach out to Alicia Ballard and Darren Franz. You can say, give me Darren's number. He's here, but he's being mysterious at the moment, as he just did a flip in Gold Bar.
Gold Bar, cool.
And I know one other person. You can text me and say, what's Nikki's number? I know this other gal in SIC that did a flip in, I think it was Sultan or Index and stuff out there too.
Cool.
All right, what else?
Thanks,
Good to see
guys.
your face. Nice hair. Your hair's gotten so long.
Oh yeah, it's been that
Yeah.
long since we've seen each other.
I know, it's been a while. By the way, we're going to Baker this weekend. Sorry, we're having like a personal conversation.
True.
Anybody wanna
Haven't
meet
been
me
to Baker.
down this weekend? I'll be there. All
Yeah.
right. What else you guys got?
So is any investors looking for an opportunity in South Seattle, kind of Columbia City area?
Good question.
Anyone?
You're asking that one.
Anyone? There's a really cool opportunity. Jay, did I see you raise your little hand? Let's talk offline, and Justin. There's a home that is currently, let's see, so it's a duplex with 2-1 on the top, 2-1 on the bottom. It does need work. It's currently renting on the bottom for $1,200 a month on a month-to-month. There's also a garage. So the opportunity here is it could be updated and sell at a pretty good price. And there's room in the back for an ADU. So it could end up being a pretty sweet investor opportunity.
We kind of have insider information on it at the moment before everybody else finds out. So
it's a legal duplex.
It is a legal duplex.
It's zoned as SFR, so I needed to check on that actually. So it looks, and the lot is huge. It's a great location. And I told Joanna, let's go find a buyer for it this week. Anybody who's looking for a house hack, it would be really great for, or potentially a flip, because it's a state sale and they have a foundation issue and they are in the process of getting their bid for that. And then, there's a chance to jump in right now on that. So it is.
Julie, there's, and Joanna, that a number of years ago, actually, Julie, is a house in Highland Park that you passed on that I bought that had like the address was in the backyard. That was zoned a duplex by the county, but the city of Seattle said it was a single family residence, and they were not giving me a permit to make it into a duplex, which even though it was zoned by the county. I wonder if that might be.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know, let's separately, we won't go into details on this one. Just anybody who's interested in a potential opportunity in the Columbia City area. I don't know if it'll be a flip. I feel like it's more of a good house hack situation, maybe a flip, because it might not be financeable conventionally due to their foundation issue. But just contact Joanna. Joanna, drop your contact info in the chat there.
Yeah, and Jay, I just sent you a message with my info, but I will put it on for everyone.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anybody here looking for an exchange? Is anybody a broker working with anybody that needs an exchange, or is there anybody here that is looking for an exchange property?
I might be actually in like another 2-3 weeks, possibly.
What price point?
In the 600-700. What is it?
Duplex.
Oh, okay. So I need to increase the price point on that then.
Probably South Seattle. Jenny, I'm talking about our stuff. So,
yep.
Anybody, that's a really great thing. If you guys ever need exchanges, boy, announce that to the world, right? Just curious, Jai, when you're going to do your exchange, are you, what's your mentality on the exchange? You only want to do an exchange if are you trying to like just simply park your money so you don't have to, so you can kick the can down the road for your taxes, or, you know, are you only going to do an exchange if there's some value add opportunity? Like I personally, I have an enormously huge, like $600,000 tax liability on an apartment building that I own if we were to ever sell it. Like, and I would do, and it just grows because the damn thing is a cash hog. And I would do anything to just not have to deal with that when the time comes until I die and pass it to my kids. Like I mean, my initial mentality is it's more important to me to just place my money in a property that is, you know, solid and, you know, I don't even need the biggest return because my motivation is just to not have to deal with the tax situation there until my kids can get their stepped up basis in that when I kick the can, right? So what's your mentality on that, Jeff?
Yeah, I mainly just do buy and holds. I don't do flips or anything like that. But because the market is so tight, and this is a house that I have up in Bellingham, Washington, near Western, right next to Western, and my realtor just came up to me and he said, "Hey, somebody wants to buy this house. I know you're okay actually getting rid of this one, as compared to the other ones. Like, do you want to do this deal?" And they're just like, the offer that they put in was so good that I just figured, you know, like I'm okay getting rid of this and parking it somewhere where I can see more value add, and then also for tax reasons too.
Right. I mean, some people buy properties these days where they break even on cash flow because they're in an appreciating market, right? And they're buying kind of more for appreciation.
I feel like that's the case for most of the stuff like here in Seattle is like,
It is, unless
you're doing, yeah.
unless you're forcing the value by, you know, maybe adding, you know, some
Rent by the room model and that kind of thing.
Okay, well, we'll keep you in mind. So what would you need? How much you need to place?
I'm not 100% sure of the numbers yet, but I'm definitely keeping in mind though.
Yeah, bring it back to us. You know, you got a lot of people on here that are investors and brokers or wholesalers, you know, good spot to let us share
Yeah,
that.
and if anybody has anything up north again in the Whatcom County or even, you know, Seattle, like those are the two counties that I'm in.
Yep. And we have a couple people up in Whatcom on my team. So let me know when you get the numbers and we'll get that info over to them.
Perfect.
I got a 10-unit apartment building in Bellingham under contract.
There you go.
Okay. I'll send you a message.
Perfect.
So Andy, is that different than the one that you already purchased?
Correct. Yeah, we own a 15-unit up there near campus, near the Western campus, and this is a 10-unit. I'd say more. I mean, it's not that big of a town, but it's towards Alabama, like the Alabama Woburn area. And yeah, I mean, it's a different. So
I grew up in the area. I mainly look in like Happy Valley and Seahome.
Mm-hmm.
And then like South Bellingham area, right? Like near, so it's like walking in the Western Washington University bus route.
Yep, absolutely.
Whatever hits the bus route, I'm interested.
Nice, cool. Well, yeah, we're always marketing up there, but yeah, I like it up there. It's a nice place to be picking up properties.
Yeah, perfect.
So Andy, give us the update on what's going on. Tell us about your original 14 unit. Did you get seller financing on that? I can't remember.
No. We have so yeah, I got the 15 unit that we've been converting from like weird pod units to studios. We just got done doing all that, and we're just finally.
Let's back it up for a minute. So is that your first apartment building purchase, the one, that 14 unit?
Yeah.
So give us a little education on that. So you decided you wanted to buy some multifamily. Tell us how you found the deal, and you then used what, commercial financing or something to buy it, and then how's it going?
Yeah, we do all our own marketing. Sent the guy a letter. He told me I couldn't afford it, and then talked to him some more. And yeah, it's an interesting property. Like I said, it was like shared kitchens and like pods and some interesting things, but in total it's 15 units. And so now it's 15 individual units after lots of conversions. And we only had one person over COVID decide not
not to do anything, and he just stayed and changed his locks and smoked cigarettes in his apartment. So that was nice to get him out of there. And that's the last unit getting renovated currently. And then once we get them all, once we get to 90% occupancy, we can finally refinance it a year after we were planning on it. So little delayed, shockingly.
And why was that? What caused your delay? COVID?
A little bit of COVID, a little bit of bad property management that I had in Bellingham, mixed with me having twins and being a caretaker for them. So yes, lots of things, a couple of other unfortunate things. So yeah, no, but to be honest, it was largely management, because I renovated and was managing all the renovations. So they went smoothly, but I had management. I had too big of a management company that had done a great job up until that point. And then once they got to that point, it fell apart. So I got new management a couple of months ago, and they're picking it up, doing great.
How did you get your financing without any experience in the apartment biz before you went for that loan?
There's a lot of upside in the property, value add wise. I had the down payment. That was the main requirement. And then the property itself was producing fairly good income at that point. And so it appraised for quite a bit more than we bought it for. And I expect it to appraise for quite a bit more than that in a couple months.
Awesome. Good
That's
stuff,
the plan.
brother. What was the down payment they required? What percent?
I was 25.
You like your lender?
I do. He's Joe Weitzel, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so I'm trying to add some units to this 10 unit and with the same seller, and see if I can't figure out how to buy it myself and with my refinance money. So
good stuff.
Andy,
yeah.
Let's stay in touch, because that's my market. That's where I'm at with everything. So
I was up there on Wednesday.
Yeah, I love it.
Look at that, you guys. We're watching a bromance happen right before our eyes. Look at that. Gotta love it. Right on. All right.
I have another question not related to Bellingham. This is related to Tacoma. I have a property near the hospital, and I have built lots of fences, and I've been dealing with lots of homeless issues. And I just got a notice from a tenant saying like, hey, like we don't know what we want to do, but we don't want to live here anymore. And it's like, I don't know if anyone has dealt with homeless issues or anything like this. I've been dealing with this for a while. And yeah, I'm curious if anybody else has anything in, we'll say, areas that have gotten worse. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll stop talking.
Are you saying you're worried about re-tenanting it because doesn't look as great because it's got a problem around there?
Yeah. It's like, I'm at the point where I'm like, man, I'm considering selling it, but how do you sell something with tents in front of it? And I'm going to have to re-rent it with tents that, I just found this out this morning. So I'm just like, what am I looking at here? And yeah, so that's just.
This is an issue these days. I have a condo rental in downtown Ballard, and we have a great little, downtown park right there that is completely, also has now become just like a campground. And it's crazy. And I had a couple people skip out, not want to rent it because of that. And then, luckily there's still a lack of, I don't know what the Tacoma rental market is, if there's a lot of inventory or not. But does anybody have any advice on, it's like a marketing challenge is what we're saying, because, the city isn't probably going to do anything, right? I mean, you could try offering those guys money to leave.
That was my next opportunity.
Right? I don't know, like go give them each like a prepaid Visa card or something like that with $250 each or $500, whatever you have to do, right? What's 1 month's rent there?
$1,400.
Take $1,400, split it up between the tents, and
yeah,
say,
I just try not to negotiate with crackheads.
Yeah, well,
Because
I
they
don't know.
just come back and get more money. Maybe I'm cynical.
Yeah, that's true. They might want some more money. That's true. True that. Anybody have any advice on that? Anybody else dealing with that kind of stuff? That's
Tap
a
some
really
sprinklers.
That's good. That's good, Dante. Dante, that is hilarious. Loud music, sprinklers. Right?
Have you put up cameras?
Not yet. That is the next thing I'm doing. But I mean, they
We
don't care. Like, it's not like, okay, put them on camera. Like, they just don't care.
Oh, well, we had a problem. We had like 6 break-ins in 6 months, and we parked cars there. And yeah, this is Paul. And we finally put up just, cameras, where the LED light flashes. They weren't working or anything. It only cost me $20 from Amazon, and we never had another problem at that house. So.
I kind of like Dante's thought on see if your sprinkler works. Or, you know what I mean?
Just retaliation is the thing.
Make them uncomfortable, right?
People who don't sleep have a lot of time to retaliate.
I hear you. Good stuff. Thanks for sharing, Paul. Good question, though, Andy. That's a good question to post out to the larger group on Seattle Investors Club Facebook page too. What else is going on, guys? Anybody else? Any needs? Anything? How's it going, Walter? How are you?
Hello, good yourself?
Good to see you.
Good, I'm just looking.
Go ahead.
I'm just looking for if someone can help me. I have a client, little old lady. She wants to replace the carpet in a condo that she's about to close on. Just with some vinyl planks. I'm just kind of like looking to give her a price, I guess, and then find someone to help her with it.
Where is it?
Burien, downtown Burien.
Burien. How big is it?
About 600 to 700 square foot that needs to be done.
So you need 700 square feet of carpet or some other type of.
Take the carpet out and put just luxury LVP in.
Anybody have an idea about how much that'll cost? Any of you contractors out there?
I can dig for something I have on my spreadsheets, but it's in LA, so it's a different market. If you can't find anything local, let me know.
If you post a question like that just on Seattle Investors Club, you're going to get 1,000 answers. Justin's on here. He would know. Styles, are you still there? All right, we got some mystery people. If Justin pops back on, we'll ask him. Otherwise,
I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, Walter wants to know how much like 700 square feet of LVP flooring might cost.
Yeah, there's, like hardwood, there's different, different qualities of LVP that, I mean, there's, anywhere from $1 square foot to $3 or $4 a square foot. You got about $300 to $350 per install. So
pick it in the middle. There you go.
Cool.
$5-6 square foot.
Let's call it $6 a square.
All right, guys. We're getting long in the tooth here. Anybody else?
Can I ask one more question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it's for some family property down in California. And we're kind of being tired of basically the whole rental thing. And the problem is we bought it eons ago, so it is appraised like freaking crazy. So looking at a 1031 exchange, but also don't want to be landlords. So was looking into investing in one of the funds, like I think the one I was looking at is a Delaware.
What about seller financing it?
Kind of just don't want to do that either. I've talked to the family a bit about the seller financing, and we're just like, let's just get rid of it and get something that's going to still give us the cash flow, but we don't have to worry about the property, and then we also won't get a ton of capital gains. What do you think about the, what'd you just say, Julie? Delaware
statute. That's like where somebody, you know who you can talk to about that is Mariska on that. And
Okay. We just want to get rid of all of our California properties, essentially.
yeah, if you're looking to like, or maybe even invest in a syndication, right? Or something like that. Somebody like Ryan Gibson can accept funds like that from an exchange. I invest with them myself, Spartan Investment Group. Holly, go ahead. Holly's asking, where is it in California?
Southern California, so Laguna Beach, Solana Beach, Long Beach, and Huntington.
Bunch of properties.
Yeah.
I don't know if Holly can hear us.
This is Paul again. I looked into the Delaware State Trust, statutory trust, and yeah, I plan on doing that when I get ready to retire, because my kids don't want to be landlords either. And you can do a 1031, and you can divide the money into different funds. You could do it just like what Julie said with the local ones too, diversify. And so if you get a bad manager somewhere along the line, you don't lose everything.
You can diversify your portfolio, right? So has anybody helped?
Yeah, the ones I looked into, they want like a minimum of 100,000 investment, but it sounds like you're going to have a lot more than that. So
both Mariska and Wendy Stanley on VIP are deep into the weeds on that sort of stuff. If you want to talk to them, and then talk to Bill Exeter at Exeter 1031, who's in California and Washington. I think it's just called exeter1031.com.
Yeah, most of his, at least on the website, seem to be focused in reinvesting it in properties, and that's kind of what we don't want to do.
That doesn't mean that he can't handle, though, the exchange into a DST, because it has to go.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, so we're hooked up in his organization, so thanks for that reco earlier.
No worries. All right, guys. I need to get back to work. What else? Anybody else? Let's check the chat. Holly, I assume you heard her say.
Quick question. I have a client that's looking for either a duplex, triplex, or fourplex. I posted before in the group. I'm not sure if anyone else has anything off market, anywhere from like Everett down to like Renton, Kent area.
What price point?
Anything up to 800.
Oh,
we might have something.
Okay.
Jenny and I might have something too.
Have you seen?
Sorry.
Have you seen Everett Housing Authority? They're getting rid of. I saw like they're getting rid of a lot of duplexes up north.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I tried to reach out to them, and I think they're going through a realtor, so I don't think they're off market, but they're getting rid of a bunch of stuff.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah. Awesome. Make sure you post that in VIP as well, if you haven't already done so.
Yeah, I did a little while ago. I can try posting again or bumping it.
Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to cut it right here. I'm going to count 10 seconds left. Any last minute stuff? No, good to see all your faces. Good to see you guys. And if this is your first time joining us, this is kind of what we do every week. We kind of use collective genius here to solve problems, get people resources, and help each other out. All boats rise, right? Just a sharing, collaborative, synergistic type of situation here every Thursday from 11:30 to 12:30. So come join us every week or when you can. And Joe, are you still there? Or you want to lift somewhere? He might be on a lift.
What's Joe wearing?
He's wearing his helmet. Oh, he's on a lift. He's snowboarding.
Yeah, I'm at Jackson Hole, Wyoming right now, so I've got a snowboard ski helmet on.
Nice. We're jealous. All right, guys, over and out. See you all guys next time.
Good to see you guys.
Adios.
Thanks, Julie.
You guys.